Ever pondered what a nation may be like if its president was the first and final member of a particular group, someone who not only made history but also marked the end of a period in the political history of the country? Prepare yourself as we go into the tale of the first and last black president. In today's video, even though it might seem like fiction, this story will make you think about how much change can occur quickly and might even surprise you. The topics we'll be talking about will make you reevaluate history and our progress, so you'll want to stick with us through the end. Most people believe that Barack Obama was the country's first black president. His presidency was seen as a significant advancement in racial equality. His win represented change, hope, and the start of a new era in politics for many. In addition to being the first black man elected president of the United States, Obama's election was enthusiastically greeted by millions of individuals who believed that racial obstacles had prevented them from achieving equal success. No one could have predicted how his presidency would change the course of history. However, many were surprised by how quickly the concept of the first and last black president would develop. Let's examine the path to see why Obama may be seen as both the first and the last in this particular era of American politics. Barack Obama's story of becoming president was one of overcoming overwhelming adversity. He was well known worldwide before he was elected president, since he was born to an American mother and a Kenyan father. Because of his father's history and his upbringing in Hawaii and Indonesia, he had a true understanding of the nuances of race and identity. He began his political career in Chicago as a neighborhood organizer and gained notoriety there before becoming a state senator. He was a rising star in the Democratic Party because of his knowledge, charm, and capacity to motivate people. Obama had to deal with the harsh realities of being a black man in a nation with a complex racial history. Despite his education and charisma, Obama had to contend with ingrained racial stereotypes in addition to formidable political rivals. On his difficult path to the presidency, many believed that a black man could never be elected to the nation's highest office. Obama's message of change and optimism struck a chord with millions of Americans, despite the fact that others thought the plan was unrealistic. His win in 2008 was hailed as a turning point in American history, demonstrating that the country could overcome its history of racism and embrace diversity in the highest echelons of governance. Millions celebrated his election as America's first black president in 2009. It seemed as though a new chapter, full of hope and promise, was beginning. Obama's focus on healthcare reform, the post-Great Recession, economic recovery, and the struggle for social justice characterized his time in office. His programs mirrored his goal of creating a more open America where everyone can thrive. But there was also a lot of resistance to his president, especially from people who didn't agree with his views or didn't think a black man could be in that position. There was no denying the racism Obama encountered while in office. From the birther movement, which erroneously claimed that Obama was not American-born, to the innumerable taunts and attacks aimed at his reputation, Obama had to contend with a very divisive and frequently hostile political environment. Obama maintained composure and concentration while working toward his national objectives in spite of the difficulties. Obama's accomplishments by the end of his second term were seen by many as building blocks for future presidents. But many were caught off guard by what happened after Obama resigned. When Donald Trump was elected president in 2016, American politics underwent a dramatic rightward turn. The harsh words and actions that Trump's administration reinstated appeared to contradict many of the values that Obama had fought so hard to build. Some have questioned if the election of a black president was a fleeting trend, or whether Trump's win signals the beginning of long-term change in American history. Many have questioned whether Obama will actually be regarded as the first and last black president in light of his legacy. Even while Obama's election was hailed as a turning point for racial equality, the events that transpired during and after Trump's presidency have demonstrated that the struggle for racial justice is far from ended. Obama's presidency undoubtedly showed progress, but it also made clear how much more has to be done to completely solve the racial disparities that still exist in America. This raises the question of whether Obama will be the last black president in American history, or if his win will eventually pave the way for the ascent of other black leaders. Even while opinions on Obama's legacy are still divided, his administration was unquestionably a turning point in American history. It dispelled long-held preconceptions about what was feasible for people of color and demonstrated that a black man could hold the position of highest official in the country. However, his administration also brought to light the nation's long-standing, deeply rooted racial divisions. Obama's presidency was tainted by the fact that racism and inequality remained widespread in the American experience. Despite all of its achievements, his administration demonstrated that change was possible despite obstacles, but it did not erase the nation's racial past. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you liked this video and would like to learn more about Barack Obama's legacy and the future of racial equality in America.